I'm always fascinated about the intersection of sports and race. And it's really race and society. It's the larger American story. And you've got some fascinating perspectives on this, beginning, I guess, when you were pretty young, growing up west side of Chicago, Maywood, Illinois, late 1960s, early 1970s. You saw some serious racial violence, race riots.
Yeah, I saw race riots. Proviso East, if you go back, it was leading the news on CBS and all the news. There was I think it was in '68, there was a huge racial riot. And I was a young kid. I was first grade, second grade. And I remember sitting and watching the state police divided the street. The whites walked on one side and the blacks walked on the other side. And you can hear the chants and the bottles, and I mean, it was awful. I didn't know it was awful. I was second grade. I thought, oh, well, this is
normal,
interesting.
Yeah.
And it took a basketball team, really. Proviso East in '69, my uncle Jim Brewer and his team went down state, that's what they used to call it, in Illinois and Chicago, and won the state title. And a guy named Pete Bozeas, who was on the team, was a white guy with 4 blacks, and they kind of unified the town and the school again. It dissipated, it went away. And it's amazing with sports, no one cares. I've been asked about a woman playing, a gay guy playing, and my answer is, I don't care. Can he shoot? Can he rebound? Can he help me win? And that's usually what the teammates come down to. They don't care. They really don't. They want to know, do you know? They want to know if you can help them win, because for them, that's all it's about.
So then you get to Marquette, and again, to remind people, we're talking about early 1980s here. Not to give away your age, but you start dating a white girl on campus who's now your wife. And you guys, I know her parents gave their full approval. They were real progressive in this area, but you guys dealt with some ugliness. I was actually surprised to read a quote from Chris, your wife, saying that whole reaction and the things that you saw and dealt with was a big part of your decision to leave Marquette a year early.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, when you have nigger lover written on your girlfriend's car and stuff like that, it gets pretty hard. It was hard for her too. I think harder because, quite honestly, she had never faced, racism, where I had, and so it was still hard for me. It hurt our basketball team, and I thought Marquette supported me. I thought Hank Raymond was phenomenal, and so was Rick. But it was just too much.
And then you had maybe the worst example of all in 1997 in San Antonio, when arsonists burned down your house. Now, you guys were not in the house. You lost some of your pets.
Yeah.
And I guess it was never pinned down that it was racially motivated. I know you guys have always
No,
felt
it was
like
racially motivated.
No question.
It's no question. I mean, it was kids. They actually know who the kids were, and because it was partial fingerprints, if you're a minor, they don't count, which is an amazing law when you think about it. I got to meet the Texas Rangers, and you actually thought that was a show. They show up with the cowboy boots and the white hat, with the gun and the badge, and that was awful because that was directed at my family. Our entire house was burned down. And that put a lot of stress on us. My wife was mad at me for a while because I just moved forward. If I have a fault and a strength, that may be it. I move forward on things.
You've never expressed bitterness. You've never expressed anger. You've never
I don't
popped
know
up
what
against the city
I don't know
of
what
San
it's going
Antonio.
to do. I just don't understand what that does. And my wife, I remember wanting to hire private detectives, and I was like, why? We have kids. We have to get them going. We have to get them to move on, and I have to move on. the next day I sat on the curb, and R.C. Buford, by the way, who is the GM of the Spurs, he was huge. He got there before the house burned down, or while the house was burning. I wasn't there yet, and he ran in the house 3 or 4 times when the house was falling down,
Wow.
and shouldn't have gone in. And they, what do you do if a house is burning down and it's somebody? What do you go in and save? And he was smart enough. He said he didn't know why he was running in, but he saved all our pictures. He knew where our pictures were, family photos, like 75% of them. He knew I was an Ali fanatic, and I had a pair of signed boxing gloves by Ali. He went in my office and grabbed those. I still have them on my mantle, and they're, you can see the little black mark from the burn, which you could have gotten off, but I didn't want. I think that's good to have that. It's a memory. So he was huge. But at the end of the day, the next day, I started filling out my insurance stuff. And I was trying to get built back. And that, to me, is the way you got to live. Sometimes it can be cold. And, I probably have been guilty of that as well. But at the end of the day, stuff happens. Good things happen. You move forward. Bad things happen. You move forward. Because life is forward. It's not behind. And that's the way I've always lived.